Hi, I'm Sarah, and I'm going to be covering some key terms that are used in MAPS testing. MAPS measures student achievement and growth, and it's personally helped me to really target my instruction. As we all know, getting to know students is part of the foundation for teaching, and MAPS helps to give you a broad range of what the students know academically. The assessment is adaptive, so it adjusts based upon responses. If a child gets a problem correct, then the next question becomes more difficult. Likewise, if a student gets it wrong, it will adjust the test question to be easier. Because of its adaptive nature, no two tests will be the same. It is intended to have students get about 50% of the test questions correct. This helps create a better picture of where the student is on their learning journey and really fine-tune their results to help instruct students' learning. MAPS projects each student's zone of proximal development. Vygotsky developed the theory of what students can do independently now and what they could do with some scaffolding. MAPS helps to define where each student's zone of proximal development is. I like to think of this as a roadmap for potential destinations. Of course, we have those dream exotic vacations, but this is more of an obtainable destination that we could take with a vehicle this year. When thinking about this with students, it's really understanding what skills they currently have and using their prior knowledge to get them to an obtainable goal. For an example, a second grader might have foundational skills in math like number sense, base 10 understanding, and basic addition. So that would help guide my teaching to know that they are ready to practice 2x2 digit addition with manipulatives. Whereas another second grader might not have those foundational skills. So I'd be differentiating my instruction to help them with basic number sense by building the numbers we practice rather than regrouping. MAPS gives you the objectives they know and the next standards that they are ready for, and some instructional material as well. As an educator, knowing exactly where the children are at helps build their confidence because you can let them shine and engage them in areas in which they are succeeding. Additionally, it helps to understand the thought process that students may use to solve the problems. This helps with their individual growth and really helps to set children up for success. MAPS use a RIT score, which stands for RASH unit, and each student will receive a RIT score for each area they are tested in. This score represents a student's achievement level and helps measure their academic growth over time. If you're preparing for that obtainable road trip that I talked about and you have a GPS, every time you check your location, you can see how far you've traveled and how much further you have to go. RIT scores function similarly in the educational journey. Just like the GPS provides updates on your current position and upcoming milestones, RIT scores show students where they are academically and how much progress they've made since the last assessment. Each score is a checkpoint, indicating what skills they've mastered and what areas might need more attention. If a student's RIT score increases, it's likely reaching your destination, and students are moving in the right direction to reach their goals. Additionally, just as you might adjust your route based upon real-time traffic updates, we can use RIT scores to modify our instruction to better support students' learning needs. Normative data helps to give context of how students compare to others. Knowing the top, the middle, the bottom scores of more than 10 million students help us teachers to better understand student strengths and help address their weaknesses. For example, when I was teaching general education for third grade, my colleague and I collaborated and could easily see that 2 literacy standards were very low in comparison to their grade level norms. We customized our teaching to target these 2 literacy goals, both in reading and in their writing, which resulted in the highest test scores in the school district. What is also really great is that it helps you to know the expected pacing of students' growth, wherever they may be starting from. It helps to inform you whether students' growth is typical or atypical. It also provides a context for comparing grade level achievement and growth to a single school relative to other schools across the nation. Map Growth provides a school level norm, helping you to compare specific grade levels in your schools to students in the same grade level across the nation. Let's take a look at some of the data at the tables. If we look at grade 2 students in the fall, had a mean score of 172 and a standard deviation of about 15. To get a sense of how much variation there was, the standard deviation of 15 can be subtracted and added to the mean to produce a range of about 157 to 188. Since the norms are based on the bell curve, that means 68% of all second grade reading scores are expected to fall within this range. So think of taking a trip across the country. As you travel, you want to know not just what your current location, but also how you compare to other travelers on the same route. That's where normative data comes into play. It's like having a travel map that shows average travel times for different segments of your journey. When you see that the average time to reach a certain city is about 5 hours, you can gauge whether you're ahead of schedule or you need to speed up within reason, right? For instance, if a student's RIT score falls in the 70th percentile, it's like knowing that you've made it further along the route than 70% of other travelers. This gives both the student and us teachers a sense of how well they're progressing compared to peers across the country. Using this data is crucial for planning the rest of the trip. If a lot of students are lagging behind the average, it might be a sign that they need more support to reach their destination. Conversely, if a student is consistently performing above the average, it could indicate that they're ready to take on more challenging terrain, like exploring the scenic route. Normative data for MAPS assessment acts as your travel guide or a custom playlist, providing context for a student's performance and helping create a learning experience that fits each student's unique needs. Using student scores not just as numbers, but as tools to help guide students to their fullest potential. Thank you so much for your time and your consideration. I look forward to hearing from you.